All right, it's all about sitting down with your family and enjoying a great meal. And that's what we're talking to Elizabeth Hall, registered dietitian from Food City, about today, because it is National Family Meal Month.
Yes, starting in September. So we got a few
September.
days to prepare.
Well, we can see it. It's right there.
Yes, we're getting excited about it at Food City.
So you have some great recipes, and it's important that we get together as families and just sit down at the dinner table. It helps in a lot of different ways.
Definitely. Families who eat more meals together at home are happier and healthier. So the kids usually do better in school, they get in trouble less often, and they usually have more positive family relationships and better mental health.
Right.
Plus, we tend to eat less.
Right.
We tend to eat about 200 calories less at home and about 16 grams of sugar less. We're less likely to be overweight, so lots of benefits to eating more meals at home.
And you were talking about, eating at home versus eating out. It does. You eat less at home than you do when you eat out.
You tend to, and you're more mindful, it seems like, when you're at home around the dinner table with all that conversation.
Right.
You tend to be more mindful and listen to those hunger and satiety cues and stop when you're full.
And I know if you're at home and having those conversations, it's a little easier to talk than it is, not knowing who's sitting
in a
around.
Loud restaurant,
and you
yes.
can have all those great family discussions that you need to have.
Definitely.
All right. There comes the healthier and happier part.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of these great recipes you have for us today.
So all of these recipes we have today are using rotisserie chicken. So rotisserie chicken is great. When you roast or cook chicken with the skin on, it keeps the meat very moist and tender. If you take that skin off before you eat it, you're getting rid of a lot of the fat and the sodium. So you kind of get a win-win both ways. So I made a couple different things. First, I'll show you over here. This is a couscous chicken recipe.
Ooh.
So this is kind of an oriental, kind of like an Indian type dish. It has curry powder in it, so it's delicious. I used whole wheat couscous, and again, it's the kind that just pops in the microwave. So couscous is considered kind of like a pasta or rice.
And I did not have couscous until about 2 years ago for the first time. Really enjoy it.
It's delicious.
It reminds me of like a cross between like grits and risotto. There's somewhere in the middle there.
So you're trying to get different things for those kids to try, and then I made a stir fry with curry powder and some different spices, turmeric, and I used parsnips, turnips, and carrots in there. So it kind of disguises those different vegetables so that kids are more likely to eat them, hopefully. And then over here is just a one-pot stir fry, and again I used frozen vegetables, and I used quinoa in there actually. So it's another whole grain, but it's also very high in protein. And then my last recipe are these mini pot pies. So we were talking about how much we love mini pot pies.
I love pot
pies in
general. Chicken pot pies in general.
Yes. So this uses your rotisserie chicken and again your frozen veggies. So it's super easy to pop that in the oven before dinner, make it ahead of time. So all I did, I was lazy again and used my own pie crust that I bought at the store.
You were being efficient.
There you go. I was being efficient. I planned ahead at least. So all I'm going to do is stick those in there, and then I made my little mixture with my chicken and my veggies, and I have one of these neat little ice cream scoop things, but you could just use a spoon.
You have some tarragon you said in there?
I did. I put tarragon in here, and a lot of people don't use tarragon that much, but it goes great in this recipe and with chicken in general. So I added a little bit of that, and then there is some cornstarch in here to thicken up my chicken broth.
Right.
And I use low sodium, of course.
Okay.
So then I'm going to stick my tops on there, and I just used a biscuit cutter for these.
Cut out like a normal biscuit size.
So you can squeeze these together if you want, or you can just leave them open and see a little bit of the veggies underneath. And then this actually has some cheese on top.
It's a little Romano cheese.
A little bit of Romano cheese. You could use Parmesan if you wanted. So it's a little bit different than your traditional chicken pot pie, but it's delicious. Cook this in the oven, about 15 or so minutes at 350, and it's ready to go. Again, great make ahead for lunches or dinners.
And these are kid size. I mean,
exactly.
Kid, literally could just pick those up after they cool a little bit and just eat them with their hands if they wanted to.
Helps with cleanup too, because not all those utensils to wash and all that good stuff.
All right, family meals. It's all about sitting down and enjoying a great meal with your family. We're going to be back in just a few moments with Elizabeth. We're going to tell you some more great things that are going on. For all of this information and all this food you see right here, check out foodcity.com.